Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between ZeLL versus DwC. This game taking place here on a Tide Hunters 1.2. Alright, things getting underway here, as it is going to be a human versus night elf matchup. We're looking at ZeLL spawning as the orange human, and meanwhile DwC spawning as the yellow night elf. Night elf versus human in a 1v1 matchup. Don't know too much about these players. I don't think they've been featured on my channel very often, so I will be, well, unpacking and getting to know their playstyles alongside with you. Both sides opening things up with what seems to be standard play. Archmage going up against a Keeper of the Grove. Gonna go ahead and slow things down as we get to the 2-minute mark. Ancient of War taking a beating but keeps on ticking, as the Keeper of the Grove will be heading on over and gaining a bit of experience. Also, Ancient of War gonna be benefiting from eating a couple of his own fellow trees. I guess well, botany cannibalism at its best, eating your fellow trees in order to get better, as we see, well, a couple of forest troll berserkers or forest troll high priest getting taken down there. Archmage going after the rock golem militia coming over as well. Very aggressive creep style pattern by ZeLL to take down this goblin laboratory. One peasant lost there. That the Archmage gets to level 2 with a Robe of Magi. This is incredibly important. That Robe of Magi giving +6 attack, but just as important, that bonus mana and mana regeneration. Archmage sitting at level 2, getting in extra damage. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Keeper of the Grove looking to clear out of this gold mine. Could it take it down as well? And perhaps these Murlocs will fall too. Coming back on the other side here, Archmage now going after some easier creep camps, as both sides, nope, no signs of whether or not they're going to be doing fast expansions. ZeLL does have quite a few workers at 15 harvesters right now. Is he going to try to set up an expansion? That is the question here, as he makes his way down to the south side after the gargantuan sea turtle creep camp. This is similar to the expansions found on Turtle Rock and are fairly large, as we're going to be looking at the water elementals coming in here, perhaps trying to absorb some of that damage, going after the giant sea turtles first. That giant sea turtles have that medium armor, meaning that they fall very quickly at the hands of footmen and militia. Coming back the other side, DwC looking to see if his opponent has expanded to the north side here, and sees that he has not. However, he does not know that his opponent has actually tried to expand it down to the southern side here, picking up a Wand of Mana Stealing that could be incredibly useful, as the Keeper of the Grove, well, is a good target for that mana early on, as we are looking at an expansion now being placed down. Arcane Tower should be brought up here in just a moment. No Arcane Vault down here as of yet. Scout Farm down here, as the army of DwC is actually rather small here, but he has started that tech to tier 2 quite a bit of time ago. Keeper of the Grove now looking to retreat back. There is a new Scout Tower being placed down here, and DwC has to realize that there is something strange going on, as ZeLL has not. ZeLL has not attacked to tier 2. One militia will get taken down. Wand of Mana Stealing perhaps was used. No Wand of Mana Stealing charge used there. Keeper of the Grove now being forced to retreat back, but he has a plethora of useful items as well. Dual Circlets of Nobility. Archmage now trying to make its way down. Gonna drop some water elementals here to try and protect this expansion. Pretty much tipping his hand that an expansion is down in this position. Arcane Tower. There goes a Shadow Melt there. There is a Dust of a reveal, as the Archer is going to get taken down with that shot there. Meanwhile, well, Huntresses are going to have to try and do a quick run by here, but that Water Elemental could rack up quite a bit of damage. As you can see, one Huntress already down to 243 hit points. Back off to the north, Keeper of the Grove, 60 mana there. One Water Elemental trying to hold the door, as we should be looking at that Arcane Tower being upgraded now. Tech to tier 2 already underway now by ZeLL, or finally underway, I should say, as ZeLL needs to get well, perhaps an Arcane Vault somewhere to try and repair, or not repair, heal up all of these low hit point footmen. Off to the north, DwC going to capitalize on this heavy footman investment made by ZeLL by going for a Brewmaster early, and now that additional hero early on could spell problems. Dell now going to come in. There's a Breath of Fire. Repairs now underway. That one scout tower could get taken down. Archmage coming in from behind. We should be looking at the Wand of Mana stealing, yes, taking away from that Panda, and that is going to be one less Breath of Fire that he has to deal with, I believe, and one more Water Elemental that DwC will need to deal with. Cooldown is going to be incredibly important. Archmage needs to wants to try and make its way across here. Don't know the cooldown on that one item there, as the units are still continuing to make their way back. A new Water Elemental could be dropped down here. Not quite sure. There it is, another Wand of Mana stealing charge used there, as the Panda now unable to get that Breath of Fire off consistently. Archmage still has plenty of mana to go, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal finally being transferred over. Arcane Vault finally placed down. ZeLL is behind in terms of supply, 28 compared to 30, but the expansion is up, as ZeLL may want to get up another tower, as the lumber mill needs to start researching that lumber upgrade as well. Clarity Potion used by the Archmage, now going to get a Scroll of Regeneration party going on inside that human base. All right, lumber harvesting now underway, and well, has ZeLL held off DwC long enough? That is the question here, as there's one arcane tower, but is that arcane tower gonna be enough to push back that Panda and those huntresses? Probably not. Hello, thank you for tuning in, Soren. Meanwhile, Arcane Tower, in comes the Breath of Fire. There it goes, breathing over across all of those peasants. Archmage now trying to make its way over, as Arcane Tower is feeding back all of that mana. Water Elementals now coming across here. Huntresses trying to escape away, down to 227 hit points. More Huntresses going to try and escape away. We are looking at Dryads as well, so Abolish Magic is already on the table, as the Archmage could easily have tried to use that Scroll of Regeneration here to, well, heal up some of those peasants. More peasants are going to be needed. Back off to the north, Keeper of the Grove fighting back against this Goblin Shredder now, as the Panda sitting at level 1. Arcane Tower still not yet up here, as ZeLL is just holding off all of this aggression now. No transition into Rifleman either. Plenty of gold, not enough lumber, so to speak, as the Goblin Shredder is being forced to pull off the line and continue to hold, fight back as well. Dryads are getting critical in the number. There's already 2. That's level 2 on the Brewmaster. And if the Archmage drops a Water Elemental here, it may be just quickly abolished, as the 2 Dryads have plenty of mana ready to go. Scroll of Regeneration once more used. That Glaive Bounce not hitting that Footman, luckily enough, as the Archmage wants to, well, fend off the attacks here. No Rifleman being trained whatsoever, trying to rack up damage, but the Arcane Vault will end up falling. Expansion already in store by DwC as well, as DwC is trying to make his opponent pay. Blood Mage is going to be the follow-up hero, surprisingly, perhaps for Siphon Mana, and then follow up Flame Strike. Flame Strike, however, going to perhaps push even more Dryads out onto the battlefield, as those units are magic immune. Guard Tower here, Breath of Fire, no repairs, and damage still was looking to rack up, trying to add up damage onto some of those units. Archmage could have dropped a Water Elemental, tried to take down some of those Huntresses. We haven't seen that still after all this time, but these low hit point Huntresses by DwC are now more of a liability than an asset to the army, as well, if they get taken down, are just going to continue to funnel more experience to that level 3, nearly level 4 Archmage. All right, little bit of damage going back the other way there. Arcane Sanctum trying to heal or train up some priests to bring in a little bit of longevity into the battle, as we are looking at some damage here. All right, 1-2, denied there. I believe that was a clean deny. No, Archmage actually got the final shot off and getting closer to level 4. All right, coming back across here, trying to rack up a little bit more damage. Priest now trying to retreat back. Are we going to get some more Riflemen? Yes, we are. Damage coming back across here. Dryads are now coming in. No Water Elementals. And this is all, well, planned by ZeLL right now, as he does not want to drop Water Elementals. Very, very scared of the Dryads and their Abolish Magic already. All right, little bit of attacks going on, trying to rack up more damage onto a Huntress. If it can get 2 more shots off, no, not going to be able to do that. Siphon Mana off of the Panda again, as the Archmage pretty much unable to fend off this attack here. Repairs are going to be in order. No flame strike, nothing of that nature. There's a couple of repairs. Huntresses are backing away, and without the Huntresses, the repairs by the peasants are going to be able to hold. No breath of fire either, as the Panda now being forced to retreat back. This transition into Rifleman is absolutely key here, as we're looking at a bit of repairs and Entangle now being thrown down as well. All right, aggroing the creeps to join in on the battle as well. There goes one poor peasant as they're just trying to rack up a bit of damage. Long-range rifleman upgrades now getting underway as well. This transition into this Dryad army, as we see, what is ZeLL doing? ZeLL is bringing Goblin Sappers across the battlefield. We'll have to keep a look at that in the mini-map as well, as the units are still trying to fight every which way. All right, Dryads getting pressured here. Could end up getting taken down. There is level 4 now on that Archmage, and that may be exactly what ZeLL really wanted. Meanwhile, more damage pushing back across the other side here. We are looking at the Goblin Sappers. Are they going to try and destroy the Tree of Life? There goes one. There goes the other. Now needs a little bit of extra damage. No, able to take it down. So Tree of Life has fallen on the other side of the map, walking Goblin Sappers all the way across, and suddenly the economic advantage is back in favor of ZeLL. DwC, what's happening here? Dryads continuing to, poke down that altar of kings, trying to buy a bit of time. More riflemen back across here as well. We could have gotten defend on those footmen and reflected back some of the damage onto those Dryads. That would have worked out extremely well, as the Huntresses are no longer playing here on the battlefield. We are looking at dual farms being built down to the south, as well as a new Tree of Life being placed down too. 53 supply compared to 62. DwC, has been sitting on a larger army for quite a bit of time, as we're looking at this Forest Troll Trapper now getting cleaned up too. Center portion of the map, Huntresses back out on here onto the battlefield. A lot of them low hit points. Nighttime regeneration not enough to really recover all of the damage that they took out there on the battlefield. Needs to perhaps get Tranquility ready from that Keeper of the Grove, who is, not even level 4 yet. A Ring of Protection +3 is going to be picked up by the Blood Mage. Blood Mage just shy of level 2 now, as the armies are, taking the 13-minute mark of this game to begin creeping. To continue creeping. Brewmaster picking up Slippers of Agility there. There is a Goblin Zeppelin now being hired up, as both sides, off to the races to try and finish off as many creep camps as possible. Blood Mage has level 2 finally. Is he going to go for Banish? Yes, he will. So Banish to try and shut things down. Scroll of the Beast dropped there, as the Dryad army now making its way around here. Are we going to see a Goblin Zeppelin drop? Yes, Goblin Zeppelin drop inside the main base, and harassment at the expansion all underway here. Priest is going to have a very bad day, as the armies are going to try and engage here, and if he tries to engage this creep camp too early, he's going to find that suddenly there is a drop inside his main base and problems at his expansion. All right, trying to clear out a difficult creep camp while all of this is happening. No Scroll of Town Portal. Action going on at the expansion and inside that main base as well. Arcane Tower, unable to drain all of the mana off of that Brewmaster, as the main base may end up falling, dropping inside of the main base there. And Archmage and Bloodmage seem to be okay with it, just going after the Granite Golem now. 48 supply compared to 74. DwC with a major supply advantage, and also getting his expansion back underway. In comes the Scroll of Town Portal. Unit's going to try and land right here. Home field advantage really non-existent here. Siphon mana away from the Brewmaster. Bloodmage could try and do some sort of plays here. Level 2 Siphon mana. No, going for level 2 Banish, as the Priest is going to be able to heal himself up nicely. There's some more Banish going across. Are we going to see a Dispel Magic on that Rifleman? No, we are not, as we are still going into more heals, trying to finish off some of those Dryads. Dryads getting cleaned up as well. Are we going to be looking at some more Banish? There's another Banish. There's some more heals going across. We can see some more Siphon mana. Blood or Keeper of the Grove unable to get all of the necessary entangles off. There is a disenchant there, and now that Blood Mage is all topped off on mana nicely. Water Elemental not getting abolished for some reason. There we go. Finally getting taken down quickly, as the Brewmaster gets up to level 4, but seeing all of that precious mana getting sucked away as well. Somehow this 37 supply army is doing okay against the 75 supply army, as fight is getting underway. Archmage gets up to level 5 here, needs to get some major heals, and now going to continue to fight. Drops a water elemental. That could get, well, abolished here in just a moment. More siphon mana. That Blood Mage constantly just staying alive here. Is going to be able to banish himself to perhaps try to shake off some of that damage. Yes, he is, and needs to get some more priests to try and heal him up, as that is a bit of a problem there. All right, a little bit more damage. Blood Mage could try and siphon, or he's going to heal himself. Yes, he is. Does have Scroll of the Beast, dropping in more water elementals. ZeLL trying to hold this off, but DwC coming in with those abolished magics quickly, as we can see multiple low hit point Dryads being forced to retreat back out now. Riflemen all working together here. Blood Mage does not have any scrolls of being. Dryads are getting taken down one at a time. That's a little bit of a miss micro Q, trying to stay alive. There goes another Dryad there, as well, they came back to the party only to get taken down pretty quickly, as the militia are now fighting back against those other units again. All right, more damage racking up. Archmage sitting at 100 hit points, has a potion of healing, uses it in time. Water elemental gonna try and fight back. There is another siphon mana again, as a Dryad could end up getting taken down. There goes another one. Archmage down to 65 hit points, 59, trying to retreat away. Are we gonna see any heals? Archmage down to 32 hit points, and it looks like he is off to the races against the Panda. Panda unable to catch up and close in on that distance. Is there an arcane vault here? No. How is the, well, there is no arcane vault here, but DwC does not know that, as the Panda looks to break off the chase. 66 supply compared to 34. ZeLL holding on to this. Lot of low hit point, Night Elf units between all of these units. Well, yeah, including the ones in the Goblin Zeppelin, maybe, yeah, not even 500 hit points across those 7 units there. All right, there's the reveal. That expansion is up and operational again. Meanwhile, down to the south, 4,000 gold left here, 9,000 gold left here, and there's 11,000. How much does it start off with? 10,000. All right, so the southern gold mine actually has 1,000 gold less to start than the northern one, if you're keeping track. So far, back and forth action. ZeLL has been able to, well, ZeLL has been out of low upkeep for quite a bit. Meanwhile, DwC has been unable to capitalize on his larger army to really close out this game. Now, the problem is the Arch for a human, those water elementals are simply not being able to stick around all that long. There are enough Dryads that even level 3 water elementals are getting abolished down very, very quickly. Brewmaster going to pick up that belt of giant strength. Plenty of hit points now to act as a front line, and without mortar teams, those Dryads are just going to have an absolute field day with water elementals being able to push back there. All right, are we going to see some damage? There's a siphon mana banish onto that Brewmaster. Brewmaster wants to get a Breath of Fire off, does get the Breath of Fire off, and we're still seeing level 4 now on that Blood Mage. Now both sides fighting. All right, Scroll of Healing used there. Scroll of the Beast, if it was used by the Blood Mage, we actually drain a lot of the mana off of those Dryads there. And if they have a auto cast on, for those of you guys who are looking for a little tip and new to Warcraft 3, if you notice that your opponent's auto casting is on those Dryads, you can purposely buy Scrolls of Protection. Oh, Archmage in trouble here, gonna get picked up by the Goblin Zeppelin. You can buy Scrolls of Protection to get the Dryads to drain their mana on trying to dispel that Scroll of Protection, and then drop your water elementals or whatever else you need. Riflemen continuing to fire back there. That superior range making a big difference. 600 against 500, I believe. Yeah, as the Dryads taking an additional shot or two, getting in and out of position. Riflemen continuing to fire here. Low hit point. Riflemen in the front line going to be a problem. Archmage now retreating back. No additional Paladin here as a third and final hero to help that Archmage, as we are looking at Banish working out extremely well. Archmage now down to 245 hit points, trying to retreat back here, as the Riflemen with Banish are getting healed up rather nicely, as we now see level 5 on that Keeper of the Grove. More siphon mana happening. Keeper of the Grove now out of mana as well. 47 supply compared to 53. Priests are now making their way over, as the Dryads are looking to retreat back again. Reinforcements coming in for ZeLL. Level 6 now on that Archmage, and that is going to be a massive difference there, as we see more siphon mana happening. All right, multiple Banish on all of these Riflemen, making them lose focus fire, as the Dryads are taking a little bit more damage. Priests are now going to be able to heal up all of these Riflemen fairly easily and quickly, as the Archmage with Brilliance are keeping The priest well topped off. Panda now looking to dive on in once again. Blood Mage continuing to fire back. Rifleman trying to finish off some of those Dryads. Low hit point Dryads now looking to back away again. 50 supply compared to 59. ZeLL is constantly staying out of low upkeep somehow, but somehow by constantly losing units in transit. But 2 Dryads suddenly fall right there, making a big difference. Archmage, well, no, forces the Panda to use that Scroll of Town Portal, retreating back. Dryads now coming back over to get whisked away back home. No unit to try and mass teleport to off over here. Archmage. Excuse me, Archmage. No, Goblin Sappers could be making another run all the way across the map. And that could be a little diversionary tactic again. Night Elf DwC has not been setting up any sort of base defense by his Tree of Life, and that is a big no-no. Meanwhile, Blood Mage sitting here at level 4 could get to level 5. Archmage wants to stay close enough, but not actually get any of the experience. There goes one, and there is a mass teleport now inbound here, coming in for that next engagement. Goblin Sappers are already here. Repairs were underway. Goblin Sapper now going to try to get in position, take down this Tree of Life, and it will not get taken down, as I believe there was Nature's Blessing allowing for that additional bonus armor. Yeah, that 7 armor, that +5 armor difference, making the buildings no longer 2 Goblin Sapper destroyable. Rifleman now looking to retreat back. ZeLL back up to 65 supply compared to 58. Dryads, however, going to have a field day, winning with superior numbers against against these Riflemen here. There's a couple of banishes to try and save. One banish saves a Rifleman there. Going to turn back around. There's a Dispel as the Bloodmaid gets up to level 5. All right, banish onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster now getting Siphon Mana entangled. Brewmaster could try and get a Breath of Fire off here, trying to rack up some damage. Do we have Scrolls of Healing? There's a Breath of Fire going the other way as the Blood Mage now going to get upside down on mana for a little bit, continuing to fight this battle through. Priest are getting taken down very, very quickly as well. Rifleman now trying to retreat back as the Panda does have a Breath of Fire with a Potion of Mana at the ready and blows over a handful of units. Archmage continuing to fire back around. 49 supply compared to 46, and the story for ZeLL is that he cannot get out of no upkeep, constantly losing unit after unit. Another Breath of Fire finishing off another round of units there. Brewmaster now being forced to retreat back. 47 supply compared to 49 as a new Tree of Life being built here at the 3 o'clock location. Main bases have about 3.5 minutes of mining left. This gold mine down to the south, ZeLL has had 6 peasants on it pretty much the entire time that has been up and operational. Should perhaps try and set up an additional expansion now, as his main base and his expansion are starting to run dry. Expansion, or the main base down south here, has already run out as well. Tree of Eternity now making its way over, as we're looking at an expansion being built off to the north. All right, this nothing off over here. Not quite sure why he's even making the trip off in this direction. Helm of Valor on that Blood Mage to give him a little bit more life, perhaps, and take a little bit more damage in those front line positions. No mortar teams, and we are only looking at 1-0 upgrades coming in from ZeLL, while DwC the same, only 1-0 upgrades. All right, Rifleman going straight after this Tree of Life. That additional bonus armor with Nature's Blessing gonna make it difficult to shoot down with just piercing and magic damage. Water Elemental could try and stop that entangled gold mine. There is a Siphon Mana. There is a banished Siphon Mana. Mass Teleport. Blood Mage trying to get away. Does make it away in time. 330 hit points. Taken quite a bit of damage there, and was in a bit of trouble. Units still heading back every which way. No more mining at this 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock expansion location. ZeLL needs to hold onto this expansion off to the north. Otherwise, he is going to find himself very far behind. Tree of, Peasant going to easily get cleaned up here. Tree of Eternity going back after these gargantuan sea turtles and trying to take down this creep camp. Tree of Eternity could just eat a couple of trees and then root himself to start entangling this gold mine. That could be a better play than trying to actually tank damage here, as the army of DwC is strong enough that the Tree of Eternity could have just started easily entangling that gold mine to get a bit more. All right, to get a bit more of a head start on that timing. All right, Tree of Life here trying to get repaired. Is it going to make enough of a difference? Mass Wisp coming in with the repairs here. Now going after the Wisp. No, Wisp's not going to be able to do the job as the Dryads now come in from behind to cause a bit of problems. Are we going to see no focus firing down that Priest? Would have been the safer call. However, the Dryads with that shorter range as mentioned, well, all got within firing range of those Riflemen. All right, Trian's doing a little bit more cleanup again, trying to take down some more of those units. The Tree of Eternity not yet entangled that gold mine down to the south, and we don't even see Staff of Preservation being used very often. The Panda is, however, at level 6, so level 6 Panda could cause some problems once more. Tree of Eternity, 49/70 supply. DwC's army, well, what you see is what you get, as there is nothing inside this entangled gold mine, as the Dryads are not looking to fight back, but the Riflemen do have that high ground advantage. So even if, well, Earth, Storm, and Fire coming online here, and what's one of the easy ways to counter Earth, Storm, and Fire? Just do not be there. Mass teleport moving away from the fight, and now this may end up opening pressure on this, well, outpost, I would say, by ZeLL. Not even an expansion anymore, just there to collect a bit of lumber. All right, Mass Rifleman, 2-0 upgrades going up against 1-0 upgraded Dryads. Blood Mage getting closer to level 6. Same thing with the Keeper of the Grove. The Keeper of the Grove's Tranquility is incredibly powerful, but it is only as powerful as the army as you support. The Dryads are now dwindling down in terms of number, 37 supply compared to 65. Both sides trying to fight their way through this battle here. All right, where are we going to be trying to go next? Keeper of the Grove doing a little bit of dance. Blood Mage has been constantly keeping, well, the heroes of DwC in check, making sure that they're not able to launch as many of those abilities as they want. A Breath of Fire going across multiple units there. Hannah now looking to back away. Arcane Tower really draining out quite a bit of mana from that Keeper of the Grove. Panda now wants to get another Breath of Fire off. Are we going to see, well, one Rifleman didn't get the memo that it needs to back away. There's a Breath of Fire blowing it over as the Brewmaster loses all of his mana here. Are we going to see an Entangle? Yes, we are. Another Entangle. And, well, the Entangle may actually make a big enough a deal as we see some Siphon mana happening back as well. All right, Rifleman getting taken down. Keeper of the Grove looking to retreat back again. Keeper of the Grove getting closer to level 6, and if the Keeper of the Grove just uses Orb of Venom and Entangle very effectively, could slowly pick apart those units. However, the Archmage with that mass teleport gonna be very difficult to deal with. Does the Goblin Zeppelin? Yeah, Goblin Zeppelin purposely has one peasant inside to allow for mass teleport, as the peasant will be carried off to a location, a sunny destination, landed, and then, well, our Archmage will arrive to the party. Here we are, Tree of Eternity down to 550 hit points. Riflemen trying to shoot things down here. Water Elementals fighting back as well. Dryads, there's a Breath of Fire. There's a Mass Teleport, as the repairs seem to be sufficient for this Tree of Eternity to stay alive and well. All right, more Wisps will need to be trained up. DwC in a little bit of trouble here, needs to regenerate quite a bit of hit points. There is one Wisp off, repairing off to the side there, as the Rifleman, well, with 2-0 upgrades, not going to go into 3-0 as we are not at Castle. 61 supply compared to 48. Just trying to get gold at this stage is absolutely key, as, well, repairs are nearly done, and now army units need to get added. Hey, I am doing well, Harsh Pickle. Thanks for asking. All right, Archmage looking to mass teleport here. Goblin Zeppelin now making rounds again. Is he going to be able to come across inside here and mass teleport? That is the question, as the Keeper of the Grove being forced to retreat back. Treants are trying to take down a couple of peasants, unable to do that. Meanwhile, Panda getting gold any way he can by now going after some of these Murlocs and doing a little bit of creeping. There's a Breath of Fire there, as, well, a Snare Caster, and, well, there's one more creep to try and take down. Take it down. All right, there it goes. I'm not sure why the Dryads all opted to back away. Mass teleport come inbound. ZeLL once again going to pick up that Goblin Peasant, or not that, pick up with that Goblin Zeppelin, that Peasant there, as the, well, Priest quickly getting finished off here, and now the Tree of Eternity is in trouble once more. Panda, Dryads now making their way back over. We do have healing wards, and in comes the battle there. There's a Breath of Fire, Earth Storm, and Fire. Are we going to see a Mass teleport? No, we are not. We are seeing a Scroll of Town Portal, as now Mountain Giants, DwC transitioning into Mountain Giants instead. But just as important, DwC 12 experience shy from Tranquility, which would have been a very big deal to keep all of these Dryads, well, topped off on hit points. All right, Earth and Storm and Fire now making its way back off to the north. I wonder if DwC knows exactly what he's doing with Earth and Storm and Fire, knowing that Earth is where your target will always come back to. So your Panda going to go ahead and regenerate there. There's going to be some engagement there. Oh, what was that? There was a banish there. A little bit of damage added onto those peasants to try and, well, finish and get to level 6 on that Keeper of the Grove, but no towers or peasants were taken down. All right, a little bit of heals. Mass teleport inside the base now. Keeper of the Grove gonna try and get in some damage, perhaps get in an entangled. There goes a siphon mana. Dryads trying to do a little bit of poking here, and this base defense very difficult as the Dryads, well, having to attack into this location here, which, well, is quite a bit of problems. As ZeLL now level 6 on the with the Phoenix, looking to fire back 62 supply compared to 48. And it is going to definitely be a bit of an uphill battle. But what is this? This might be the gift that a DwC needed. Level 6 onto that Keeper of the Grove, as the Priest was, well, in the wrong position right there. Panda, anti-magic potion there, gonna try and engage. There is a Breath of Fire, gonna now try and engage against that Phoenix. Phoenix could end up getting taken down. Phoenix is down to 1 hit point, and now is it gonna actually get bursted down in the time enough? Looks like all it needs is just one more shot. Keeper of the Grove, seeing that level 6 Blood Mage, now looking to retreat back. Keeper of the Grove continuing to launch those attacks, as we now see Tranquility right here, who's really trying to heal. Yeah, no one really. Mountain Giants were nowhere near this battle, as the Archmage still has a Scroll of Town Portal just in case there is a Cyclone usage. DwC has now transitioned into, into Mountain Giants from these Ancients of Lore, trying to train up a couple of Dryads, so those Mountain Giants in that frontline position will be key. Mining here, still 7,000 gold. Meanwhile, still 7,000 gold here as well. 8,000 gold off to the north. Too bad Tranquility cannot fill Moonwells. That might actually be pretty cool of an ability. Keeper of the Grove having Tranquility and having that rain actually be moon juice to fill up those Moonwells. But then again, I don't know. I already feel like Tranquility is an awesome, beautiful ultimate ability. I don't think we need to make it any better. But thematically, it makes a lot of sense. All right, Keeper of the Grove ready to go. Panda off to the north. There's a Breath of Fire anti-magic shell, and now able to perhaps break free. Is it going to try and get another Breath of Fire off? A Drunken Haze would have made actually quite an effective 1-2 punch, as the Keeper of the Grove going to try to get in some damage. There's a quick Dispel Magic there, as damage is getting racked up once more. Keeper of the Grove now looking to retreat back again. There's that Siphon mana coming in from that Blood Mage, constantly trying to keep those heroes in check. We have 4 ultimate abilities. Mountain Giants are here, Dryads are here, DwC now sitting in low upkeep again. ZeLL has been unable to close out this game, even though he has mined significantly more gold than his opponent throughout this game here, as this, well, 3 o'clock expansion is not yet cleared up. Keeper of the Grove now trying to make its rounds back around. There goes another Siphon mana. Panda now looking to retreat back. Does have an anti-magic potion. Keeper of the Grove does not have an anti-magic potion, as still, well, DwC purposely staying in a no upkeep, staying at 50 supply. So maybe DwC has actually mined more gold, just not lost as much to upkeep. Riflemen and now Peasants, however, taking this last expansion, this 3 o'clock location, trying to take it from his opponent. There's that Siphon Mana. Keeper of the Grove now looking to back away, and with that, with that Keeper of the Grove down to 130 mana, well, in comes another mass teleport. Where are we teleporting off to? Finding this location here, and now the Tree of Eternity could be in a bit of trouble. All right, quite a bit of damage. There goes a taunt. Units are trying to fight their way back. Repairs are underway. Riflemen trying to shoot back here. Are we going to get some more taunts? And now there's a breath of fire across multiple units. Anti-magic shell has come to an end. Repairs not in order. Minor repairs here as we see a mass teleport as the units are, simply just teleporting away again. This expansion, well, not even this expansion, this outpost with multiple towers, going to be very difficult to take out as ZeLL is continuing to place down cannon towers and scout towers as well. All right, in comes a mass teleport, teleporting out to his expansion here. He's going to be trying to set up this expansion here in just a moment, as there's still 10 minutes of mining to go. Brewmaster now being forced to retreat back. Anti-magic shell doesn't really protect him from those riflemen at all, and he wants to try and blow things over with that breath of fire. Tree of Tranquility, or Tranquility onto that Keeper of the Grove. Tree of Eternity still mining away. Back across on the far side here are the Mountain Giants, going to be making a bit of a play as in comes the Mountain Giants now trying to engage. They are absorbing quite a bit of damage. There's a Phoenix as well. Are we going to be looking at, a Staff of Preservation coming back around, and in comes Earthstorm and Fire. There's a mass teleport. There's the Cyclone away as the Mountain Giant going to end up getting taken down there. Scroll of Town, and he's going to actually end up losing this expansion if he doesn't mind that there's a cancellation on the expansion there, and all of these buildings will end up getting taken down at the cost of one Mountain Giant. This may actually be a good call by DwC to make sure that his opponent wasn't able to get this building or this expansion up and running, buying himself a bit of time. Still 3 Mountain Giants left. Earthstorm and Fire going to finish off everything else here. This cannon tower, the trees, the Mountain Giants could easily just pick up a tree and then take it down. Meanwhile, back down to the south side here, we are looking at the Scroll of Town portal. That was to the southern expansion, and this Tree of Eternity still may get taken down, as time was bought by not being able to use mass teleport, but there was a town hall nearby enough. All right, Keeper of the Grove running out of mana again. Unable to use Tranquility very effectively. I think we've only seen it used once throughout this entire game, and that was next to a bunch of Moonwells and only one Panda. All right, Panda going to try to come across here, going to perhaps get a Breath of Fire, does get a Breath of Fire off, finishes off one Rifleman there. Siphon Mana, are we going to see any more damage here? Does have a Potion of Mana, runs out of mana, has the Potion of Mana, should try and use it here in just a moment. Going to go a Breath of Fire, but not enough to finish off any of the units. Phoenix Egg gets whisked away as well, and will hatch and be ready to go. All right, Staff of Sanctuary now being used by ZeLL as well, as the gold mines are starting to run dry for ZeLL. All right, ZeLL is in the driver's seat of this game. He's been constantly putting in pressure, keeping his opponents in line with that Blood Mage's Siphon Mana, minimizing all of that pretty consistently. Meanwhile, off to the north here, Mountain Giants looking to take down this expansion off to the north here, and here comes the Dryads. Dryads could have easily tried to take down that Phoenix. Phoenix does have light armor and cannot fight back against those Dryads, but plenty of Riflemen to make up for that difference. Mountain Giants now continuing to push back around. There's a quick banish on a Mountain Giant there, as he's not able to do much again. All right. Healing Ward, healing up here. Treants off to the side. We can see Peasants are down to the south. They may try and set up an expansion down in the south here, as the Treants are now making their way back over. There's a big Breath of Fire across multiple Peasants there. Are we going to actually see Peasants get blown over? Mountain Giants now making their way over. Panda could try and re-engage once that cooldown is done on that Breath of Fire. He is not making his way back over, just hanging around in the backside position here. Not quite sure plenty of low hit point peasants. There's a Breath of Fire and multiple peasants getting blown over there as the Brewmaster gets up to level 7. All right, Mountain Giants in that frontline position. We could be looking at Tranquility as well. There's the Siphon Mana. No Tranquility in time. Opted to go for Treants instead. And there's some more Breath of Fire coming back across. Panda now completely out of mana. Phoenix Egg turning back into that normal egg self and waiting to get rehatched, but no such luck there as the Archmage is going to go ahead and mass teleport back to his outpost here at the 8 o'clock location. Expansion off to the north looking to get cleaned up. Staff of, I believe that was a Staff of Preservation teleporting back to, the Moonwells. Now that there is no longer a Tree of Life, Panda could try and get a big Breath of Fire off again. There's one Goblin Zeppelin there. Are we going to see a banish there? Goblin Zeppelin quickly picked up. Panda now flying the unfriendly skies in order to get away. Siege engines now coming in to try and counter, to try and finish off the remaining buildings. There is not many buildings left as we now see the Ancients of Lore purposely trying to uproot and lose that fortified armor. Earth Storm and Fire coming across now. Are we going to see a Cyclone? Yes, Cyclone picking up the Archmage. Archmage is no longer able to teleport away. Going to be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. Ancients of Lore joining in on the battle. And it looks as though, yes, that Siege engine was able to get close enough into the fight to get whisked back home as well. Ancients of Lore perhaps should be, trying to eat a bit of trees to replenish that hit point count, as we are at the 41-minute mark of this game with no mining taking place. Army sizes are fairly even. Total supply 41 to 41. And now it's going to come down to execution with your army. All right. Couple of cells there. Brewmaster, Keeper of the Grove, Moonwells. Is that artificial nightfall? Yes, it is. As we are looking at these Moonwells trying to get filled back up. Meanwhile, Mountain Giants, Banish coupled with that Phoenix, really racking up quite a bit of damage as the units do need to back away. ZeLL able to get some more mining going, currently sitting at 4 peasants. And gonna try and get into full saturation once again. Down to the south side here, this outpost is being scouted out as we see mass teleport being used aggressively again by ZeLL. All right, Siege Engine now making a play back over. Ancient of War absorbing quite a bit of damage. No reason to uproot as, the fortified armor actually protecting it from the magic damage and piercing damage of the majority of that army. Keeper of the Grove, are we going to see an entangle? No, we do not. Keeper of the Grove did not entangle in time to stop that, and the hit and run tactics are still coming in from ZeLL. All right. Short of it feels like ZeLL, once again in the driver's seat, doesn't have to play too aggressively. As long as he's playing consistently, he will be fine. There's another mass teleport inbound again, and coming across this set of buildings here, the Ancients of Lore want to retreat back. One of the Siege engines is going to get taken out there as the Panda now needs to make its way down to the south. All right, Ancients of Lore trying to retreat back away, trying to rack up a little bit of damage. There goes an Entangle. There's a Dispel Magic, as the Ancient of Lores, trying to get into position or trying to actually act as a little bit of defense. Dryads are now showing up quick. Dispel Magic onto all of those treants there. There's Abolish Magic as well, as the Phoenix Egg looks like it will be able to stick around. No Entangle onto that Archmage, as the Archmage able to teleport away again. Hit and run tactics, very, very consistent across the board. ZeLL, still mining a little bit of gold off to the north, able to replenish things. Meanwhile, DwC is pretty much on life support, no more gold whatsoever, and needs to try and make a play happen. All right, there are still some Moonwells back here, but once these Moonwells are down, mass teleport inside. ZeLL going after Moonwell, and Moonwell taking down these Moonwells would really remove much of the actual base defense here, and in comes the engagement. Should have perhaps engaged with the Breath of Fire first across all of those units. Are we going to see a Scroll of Town Portal? Yes, we are. Scroll of Town Portal quickly in order to get away, and now fight off to the north here. Keeper of the Grove is in trouble here, as we see some Siphon Mana. There's Tranquility. It was used in time, as we see that, Tranquility trying to keep those Dryads alive, just not going to be able to do so. Too much focus fire, and I believe that is going to be the game. Well, with all of the ultimate abilities, it felt like ZeLL was just playing the cleaner, consistent pressure style of game to take down DwC. All right, coming back around, trying to finish off his opponent there. There's a little bit more damage. Phoenix down to 310 hit points. Are we going to see some sort of crazy, crazy epic comeback here? Army size 29 supply compared to 40 over 90. It's a slight supply advantage. There's level 7 on the Keeper of the Grove, trying to make its way back around, and not enough mana on the heroes to really make a difference, I don't think, as the Mountain Giant's trying to back away. Continuing to fight its way through. Panda trying to take down a couple of those riflemen. Units are split around every which way, as that is gonna be the game. ZeLL taking down DwC. Really, with the larger army, a lot of lead changes going back and forth, a lot of good ultimate abilities, and ZeLL not trying to put in, trying to keep the pressure on with mass teleport, constantly keeping his opponent's heroes in check with that, well, siphon mana from the Blood Mage. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.